Hey guys, I wanted to go over a couple hands from my second day of Wsop. So I jumped in the 1K mystery bounty. It's the very last flight, and I jumped in from level 1, which I don't normally do. But the first hand I wanted to tell you guys about was at level 2, 200, 300. Starting stack was 40k, so we're all around there still. Under the gun 3, 10-handed limps, cut off limps. I'm on the bun with king 6 of diamonds. I decided to ISO in position. I want to play a lot of pots in position and use my post-flop edge against the weaker field. So I make it 1500. I think because we're deeper, we actually can make it bigger, more like a cash game. So maybe like 2k would be better. But anyways, I make it 1500. They both call. Flop comes 10-10 deuce, club. Yeah, it was club, heart, spade, and I had king 6 of diamonds. So I don't have any backdoors. I don't have any backdoor straight draw. I just have, I guess, overs to the deuce. So not a great flop. However, under the gun 3 leads for 2k, cutoff folds. I just think this is a spot where almost, I don't want to say always because every now and then I'm surprised, but pretty much always, they never have a 10 here. It's usually going to be something like 5, 6s, 7s, a deuce. It's going to be something that's probably weak and very capped, where I could just have all the overpairs, I could have a bunch of 10x, and I could put him in a tough spot. So even though this isn't a good combo to use in theory, I decide to make it 6k, and he goes in the tank for a very, very long time, and he ends up folding. Now, if he had called, even though it was only level 2, I was planning on putting on pressure on turns and rivers, assuming the run out was favorable for me to do so, which most of them will be, and it'll be very hard for one pair to call off there. I just think this is a spot where, like, even though theoretically this is way wide and way out of line, I think it's good to, like, to deviate a lot from that when you find a spot like this, because live poker is all about finding the exploitative edges, and you know, when I know he doesn't have a 10, it's just very easy for me to like get him off a hand. And if he ends up finding a crazy call with like 4s, 5s or something by the river, like, so be it. I'm very happy that I was able to find this spot. The next interesting hand I wanted to talk about was at the 1k 1500 level, and I had shipped up to about 70k ish, I want to say. So under the gun 3, again, 10-handed, he opens to 3k. I'm in the big blind with ace 6 off. I'm not really a big fan of these offsuit aces, but in these fields, I think we still have to be defending. You can 3-bet as well, which is what I normally will do in tougher fields. But in this field, I think we should just always be calling. So I make the call. Flop comes ace, queen, 10, 2 hearts. I check. He checks back, which actually makes me feel really good. Turn's a 6 of hearts. So, sorry, flop was 2 diamonds, 1 heart. So the turn was a 6 of hearts. So now it's 2 diamonds, 2 hearts. I decide to make it 6,500 into 10k. I think when he checks back the flop, I felt like this player who I've been playing with all day was not the type to check back any strong hands. So I feel really good about top pair there, and 2 pair just makes it a lot easier for me. So I make it 6,500 into 10k, and he makes the call. Now the river comes the 10 of hearts. So now there's 3 hearts, backdoor flush draw gets there. My 2 pairs counterfeit, and just an overall very bad card. I was planning on bombing the river for value, but now I'm in a spot where my 2 pair gets counterfeited. I lose to like hands like pair plus broadways, like jack 10s, king 10s. Don't expect him to have flopped straights or like flopped 2 pairs or anything of that sort, but still just not a great river. I mean, he could have maybe some like king, queen of hearts every now and then. Anyways, just didn't love it. But at the same time, when he checks bet the flop, I am going to be putting him on a range of like kings, jacks, king, queen, something around there. I just didn't feel like he was very strong. So I end up thinking for a while and thinking what size I can make it to target those hands. And I end up just betting 6,500 again. If he does raise, I'm just going to fold because most people aren't going to find the appropriate bluffs here. And I didn't think this opponent was ever going to bluff me here. So if he raises, it's an easy fold. But I felt like it was very important for me to get value from his weaker hands. So I make it 6,500. He tanks, shakes his head forever, and eventually says, "You win," tanks some more, and puts in the call, and we are good. And he made some comment like, "Of course I lose with these," so I just assume it's kings. But yeah, I just think it's important, even though sometimes the runouts are scary, just to think through the hand, think about their range, and get the appropriate amount of value. And maybe he calls a big bet, I don't know, but I think the small bet is what got me paid there. So pretty interesting hand there. I ended up chipping up some more, and then I had 100K. Unfortunately, at 2K big, I got it in Kings versus Ace King for a lot of chips. I lost, busted, max late reg, got lucky to double up, and then lost a flip about 3 levels into the max late reg and busted. So unfortunate day there, 2 bullets down. We lose 2K, but that's okay. We're going to be back at it. It's still early.